Yeah, I recognise the problem actually. So I, I've been reading recent years. We won't talk about it too much here, but there's like, explainable AI became a whole thing. So explainable AI was almost a research paradigm that came out because these AI models became so complicated, it was no longer possible to sort of describe what was happening in simple terms. So there's this whole area of research that came out around that. And I suppose the bit that we're saying is when these things become so technical, another part of it is low code. So you can now produce some of the world's most technical models with 5 lines of code. I'm showing my age, Tom. Whereas it used to be 1,000 lines of code to produce something like this. But also, I'm now so old. I used to do something called an exploratory data analysis, and my boss would force me to do it. But it's really profile data, look at data, describe what you have, but you involve others kind of in that process before you even get to those technical steps. I suppose the tendency now is to be able to jump straight in at this technical end, and all of those extra bits of we're now communicating about what we're finding. That's your opportunity to develop your domain knowledge of like, well, what is this data and what are the behaviors? And I suppose it's also, I know that's also when like data quality things sometimes are flushed out, and this is, that opportunity is missed by just jumping into like technical delivery.
I guess to link it back to what you're saying, what we said before about the decision maker not being involved. Yeah, like you will tend to miss that step if you're not heavily engaging with your stakeholders, with your decision makers. But also, if you just say to an engineer, here is a task, well, the most powerful solutions and the most easy and quick to run solutions are ones where you don't necessarily have to do that data analysis to get to push it through the model to get a decent outcome at the end. So an engineer may think, okay, actually, if the pressure coming from me is to build a model that performs well quickly, I will use that model. But when we've not linked in the decision maker and the decision maker hasn't explained very clearly, actually, we need a model that we understand on these terms. We need to understand what's going in for this use case, but also we need to understand the decision it makes and really sort of explain how it fits into the process and what's needed in that sense. Then, I mean, you're just going to end up with this solution where it was easiest for the engineer, it performed well on the benchmarks, but it actually delivers none of what your business and decision maker needs were.